Hey everybody, this is Shar, and I just wanted to share the mini album that I just finished up for Scrapbooking with Me Boutique using the February kit, which was from Fabscraps, and the collection was from the French Heritage collection, and this paper is so absolutely gorgeous. I really had a hard time cutting into this paper because it's so pretty, but eventually I got over that. I really would just like to cover my walls in this piece of paper right here. I love it so much. But anyway, what I did is I did a mini album. We got a mini album, a chipboard with the collection, so I decided to go ahead and use it and see what I could come up with. And I really love the way it turned out. So here's the mini album that we received, and this is how I what I created with it. Now, if you want to check out the whole collection and what was in the kit, I'll go ahead and link that below, as well as I'm going to link the store information. So if you'd like to come over and join the group, it is a closed group right now, um, and but you can go over and request. I'm so sorry about that, my voice. Request to join. And Edith carries, she has monthly kits, which she puts together a very, very nice kit every month. And then she also carries other products by Graphic 45, Tim Holtz, Prima, all of the new releases she's getting in as the manufacturers are sending them to her. So really exciting. The store has grown leaps and bounds. So come on over and check it out. But anyway, here's what I created using the kit. And the kit came with this chipboard album, as I said before. The chipboard album did have 4 holes in each corner to bind with rings, but I thought I would change that up and use the cinch binding system on it. So what I did to cover up my holes is that I put my paper on one side, and then I would use my crocodile and punch out some holes using some just some leftover chipboard, and I would just punch out the holes, and then I would fill them in with a little bit of glue in each of the holes, and then cover the other side. So there's no way that by accident that this can be punched through. So just kind of like a little patch job is what I did. Then I used my cinch to create new holes. It's a gatefold album, which I absolutely love. These gatefold albums are so much fun. And so what I did on the cover is it already had this outline of the bird cage, and the bird cage was so pretty. I didn't want to cover it up. I wanted to take advantage of it. So since we got 2 jars of embossing powder from Lindy's Stamp Game, I used this green one for my cage. And basically what I did is, since I had to cut the paper out anyway, I ended up creating a mask and then use that mask to not only cut my paper, but also to mask off part of the chipboard so that I could do the embossing. And so I used my embossing folder. I tried to do it with just a pen. I have an embossing pen, but my pen just didn't have enough juice in it, so I had to use my pad, the ink pad, and so masking it off really, really helped a lot. So I embossed this 3 times with the embossing powder, and then I embossed it 1 time with some Beauty and some Perfect Pearls. So it kind of gave it a little bit of an additional shimmer because the embossing powder also has some shimmer in it as well. So I just love the way it came out. Very glass looking. Most of the products that I used in here for the embellishments were actually from previous kits. Since I've been a designer with Scrapbooking with Me for over a year, I still have a lot of leftovers from previous kits, so I wanted to incorporate a lot of that in this too, because the kits that she sends out have lots of extras, so that I have a lot of leftovers, as you can see. This is just part of the beaded trim that I have. So I decided to include that in here as well. So what I did is I used some, I did use some lace from my stash as well as some seam binding from my stash. And then for here on the ends, I used some trim here from Scrapbooking with Me, and that's some leftover trims. I used a lot of this mesh bling, and you can see that it's running through here. This little trim, I really like it too. You see that right here? That's what I used right here. And then I cut a little square of one of these little mesh blings out and stuck it in the center of each of those. So it would tie all in. So we've got pearls and rhinestones kind of like tied into each other. My little birdie, it came from Michael's. Actually got him in the clearance section after Christmas a couple years ago. And I just ended up cutting off one part of his body so that he would lay flat on the mini album. Flowers, of course, all came from Wild Orchid Craft. And Edith does carry Wild Orchid Craft flowers from time to time. And I did use some Wink Stella pen on a lot of this project. These also, Edith does carry the Wink Stella. I love, 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 love my Wink Stella pens. So I did use that here, and then also on the butterfly. The butterfly is cut out from the paper. Now his body, what I used on his body was some more trim, and it was this beaded trim right here. I know a lot of people probably already have this in their stash, but to me it was just like perfect for a body of a butterfly. So what I did is I just cut off one. I cut the threads as close as I could, and then with whatever threads were left over, I used a little lighter and just burnt them off, and then just glued his little body. I glued the body to the butterfly, and I just love the way that came out. So I think I'll be using that idea a little bit more. So on the inside here, since it's a gatefold, it opens like this. What I did is I made a pocket here using the paper, some organza trim, and I ran some, what's it called? Some more of this mesh bling through the bottom here on the organza ribbon. I have like a little flower center here, some tulle, and made a tag. And I also did some molding paste here on a stencil. And I just got the stencil from Hobby Lobby, and I thought I wanted to use it so bad. So I thought this was pretty to add it to, since this was just kind of plain, and I added it here and here. And then what I did is after it dried, I went over it with some of this Rub and Buff. It's actually not Rub and Buff, it's called Inca Gold Metallic Rub and Silver, and I just got this too at Hobby Lobby, and so I rubbed that on here. So it gave it just a white and a silver color, because everything in here is white and silver, all the embellishments, and of course the paper that I use, the background paper. Here I have 2 filigree pieces that I just glued on one end, and then I just used to hold the tags, and these can be little journaling spots like that. I have another butterfly that I cut out from the paper, and another one of those little bodies that I made using the teardrop trim. And then on this side of these half little circles, I cut out some of the flowers from the paper, from my scraps, and then glued them here and created pockets out of them. And I used made some tags, and these tags are both different size. This is a little longer. So that's what I did there. On this page, I used the purple paper, or the lilac paper. It's such pretty paper. And I have a mat, and then to create a pocket, I cut out, and you can see that there's the paper there. I cut out the other corner of the paper and laid it there. It adds not only that, but it adds some dimension. I also did the same thing with the dragonfly. On the dragonfly, I did his body in glossy accents, and then, of course, lifted up his wings. I added the Wink Castella pen on all of the flowers and his little wings. This little mesh bling right here came from, I'm so sorry, my Abel Benny kit that we got last year. And so I thought that was really pretty there. And the lace came from my stash. Then on this side, let me lift the book up and pull it this way. What I did here on this side is I used a cutout from my silhouette, and it's a 3-layer oval frame. So I left the background white. I left this middle section, I did cover in the glossy, the embossing, and I embossed it. Oh, I just love the way it came out. Embossing powder is so pretty. You can see the pretty color in it. And then I just cut out another piece of paper here in the middle. I used a key that was from our January kit, and then I also have another mat here, and some seam binding from my stash. Now on this side, I did another page, and this page is was one of the purple pages. All of my pages, I don't know if you can tell, I used the Tim Holtz distress paint, and I distressed all of the edges. I wanted them to be a really soft white edge, so I used the paint all on all of the edges of the mini album. On this one, you've got 2 mats. You got a mat here, and then you got a mat, 2 more mats here, and they do have a magnet closure. Just use some lace and some more trim, leftover trim from the kit, from previous kits. On this side, I made a waterfall. This also has a magnet enclosure, and the magnets did also come from other Bo Bunny magnets. Let me show you what they look like. They also came from the store, and they're back in stock. This is what they have. She's got 2 sizes, this size, and then I think this is a little smaller. Nope, it's the same size. She's got some bigger ones. I ordered some more of these, so she got bigger ones, and then she's got some more smaller ones. So she's got those in stock right now. So so this does close with a magnet closure, and I have another little filigree piece right there. And then it's just a little waterfall photo mat section for photos. Use some of the new doilies that they have in the store in the background. And then on the center of the mini album, or the very last page, what I did is I just used some cutouts from Spellbinders, my Nestabilities, and I used the 2 larger frames, this one and this one. I did put them on dimensional foam, so they are risen a little bit from the page. And then I just used some more lace from my stash, and then some more trim from an old kit too. I just cut this trim up. So that is the mini album that I made with the Scrapbooking with Me Boutique February kit. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put the link down below. So if you'd like to come and join, I'd love to have you there. And come and give us a try out and see what all the great goodies that Edith does have in the store. And thanks everybody again for watching. I'll go ahead and post some pictures at the end of the video so you can see more detail. And have a great day. Bye-bye.